Hey, fool, this ain't no football game.
Emma's a pimp.
Wait until the Reaper takes my life.
Lucky for you, you are right where you need to be. So sit back, relax, and turn up the volume on your streaming device. Johnny Ballgame, Sir Poops-a-Lot, and the Fantasy Reaper are about to deliver humor and fantasy gold at the same time. Crush your opponent with a smile. It's Fantasy Sports Island.
All right. Welcome to Fantasy Sports Island, where we talk about fantasy football and your mom. So listen, with me as always, the Fantasy Reaper, the Reap as we call him. Chuck, how we doing today, brother?
You know, Johnny, you took a load off me, bro. I don't have to host tonight. Feeling good. I'm just gonna sit back here on my island and chill and let you do your thing, Johnny.
Now, you look a little bit like Jim McMahon right now. I got to be honest with you, and it's turning me on a little bit. It's turning me on. I'm a Bears fan. What are you gonna do? Jim McMahon turns me on. So what? I thought about that. All right. Also, the lesser known Knight of the Round Table, Sir Poops-a-Lot. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm good. Got my electricity back on after the huge storm in SoCal. The two hours of rain that knocked out all our power.
You guys had a little rain near LA and it just destroyed everything.
Yeah. Johnny, you sound like a big pussy right now.
I do. Because it's just more annoying. That's what it is. It's annoying.
Who needs electricity, baby? I mean, it's so bright in here, guys.
Day and age.
It's in the low 60s where Tony is, and you would think there's like an Arctic wind going on.
I got my sweatshirt on. And it was brutal.
All right, boys, let's get to some news and notes. Oh, hey, Chuck, if people want to follow this thing, what should they do?
I mean, hit the freaking like button and hit the subscribe button, maybe?
Feels like a great idea. Feels like a really, really good idea. Tony.
Yes, sir.
They might like and subscribe. What else can they do, though, if they enjoy the content?
They should like ring a little bell. Isn't there a bell that you push or something?
Yeah. It goes, ding. Here's another thing you should do. Put comments in the comment area. And I will tell you, we got some super useful stuff last week. There was one person selling a product that he thought we should all get. That was really helpful. And then another person that says, you're funny. So listen, we got that going for us. That's funny. We'll build a whole segment around that. What we wouldn't mind, though, is some actual content suggestions. Folks, these segments don't write themselves. You know what I mean? We can't come up with great ideas every time. So if you could just get us something, that'd be great. All right, boys, let's get into notes. I think the biggest thing that happened since the last time we were on, what are we doing in Indianapolis? Frank Reich gets fired. Jeff Saturday gets hired. Jeff Saturday of high school coaching fame, right? Like he's never coached pros. He's never coached college. Great center. Should be in the Hall of Fame, quite frankly. And I think he probably will end up being there one day. Chuck, did Frank Reich get a fair shake in Indianapolis?
No, he did not. And he basically was told, we're going to shut Matt Ryan down and we're going to play Sam Ehlinger because that's what we want to do, damn it. And you have no say in the matter. And this is ultimately what caused him to lose his job. That's from what I'm hearing. He was against this from the start. Actually, they were 3-3-1 with Matt Ryan. I don't see the need to go to Ehlinger at that point. I don't know why the tank is on so early in the season in that weak division, but they decided to go that route, and this is what happens. And they hire a guy who's never coached college or NFL in any way, shape, or form. I don't get it, Johnny.
He wasn't even a coach on the staff. He was a consultant, Jeff Saturday, and an ESPN analyst. By the way, fantastic, or not ESPN, NFL Network analyst, I believe. Fantastic, really good analyst. Love listening to him talk about football. Ask Mike Mayock how easy it is to go from talking about football to actually doing something about football. And we'll talk about that actually in just a few minutes. Tony, what does this do to the fantasy folks in Indianapolis?
The fantasy folks in Indianapolis?
Yeah, the people who play fantasy for Indianapolis, people who are football players on the Indianapolis team, who now have Jeff Saturday and some guy that I don't even know who is their offensive coordinator.
Right. Well, I think what worries me really is just the attitudes. Hopefully, Saturday seems like he wants to be a leader and he has a positive attitude. And he's saying, "Hey, I may do well, I may not." but I know how to lead these guys. Those were his exact words. So I'm hoping the team follows him, feels confident, and hopefully he pumps them up. Because if I was a player, I would have lost a lot of faith in the whole organization. I wouldn't really want to be waking up and going to play football on Sunday. So I'm hoping that's not the case, because I have a few Colts players on a few of my teams, and I'm hoping that they do better. Yeah. So it's up to Saturday, man.
Chuck, do you think this is good news or bad news for Taylor?
I actually think it's good news, because I'm pretty sure Jeff Saturday is an offensive line guy. He played with Peyton Manning. He likes to run the ball. He likes to show off the goods on the offensive line. And let's be real. I mean, last year they had the best offensive line in football when it comes to rushing game. I think he's going to try to reestablish that and pound the ball on the ground, because Sam Ellinger, I mean, we're not throwing the ball, okay? We're not throwing the ball in this team. We're going to run it down your throat. So I'm hoping that will turn into, Jonathan Taylor having a resurrection at the end of the season here. But he's got to get healthy first, Johnny.
That is a fact. Here's a quick question for you. If Jeff is eating ice cream before a Thursday game, does that mean Saturday's eating a Sunday on a Thursday?
What?
I'm just asking the questions people want to know, you guys. I don't know what to tell you. My next one, and this isn't so much for fantasy, but I think it's important to talk about. The Raiders let go of another first-round pick today, or actually yesterday, and Abrams, the safety. Now, why that's important is since the Gruden-Mayock regime started, they had, I think it was either 8 or 10 first-round picks. And of those, they only have 2 still on the team, and neither of those were signed to the franchise or to the 5-year extension that they could have. Is this, in your opinion, and Tony, I'm going to start with you, the worst drafting team ever in the history of the NFL?
Hands down. Absolutely. Proof is in the pudding. It's in the writing. Look at it. Losing everybody like that. This is an issue, man. They need to gut that entire organization and start over.
And they just did. They just started with a new coach. New DM.
They keep trying to start over.
Yeah.
Worse and worse.
Yeah. Chuck, what's wrong with the Raiders? Tell me, if you could pinpoint one thing, what's wrong with the Raiders?
Derek Carr. Derek Carr's, he's a joke. He's been a joke. He's a guy that locks on to one receiver, and if he has to go through his progressions, he's toast. And he's getting worse. So, I mean, is it just Derek Carr? Probably not. It's probably coaching. I'm assuming it's coaching. Yeah. But really, I mean, they have the weapons around them. We've seen Jacobs explode. We've seen, I mean, they have Devontae Adams, best receiver in football, but they still can't move the ball. And when it gets down to the end of the game, when you need points, Derek Carr just doesn't come through, man. I don't know what else to say.
No, he does not. Some injury news. Matthew Stafford in concussion protocol all of a sudden, somehow. Are we worried, Tony?
I'm confused. Yeah. I mean, I was worried 2 weeks ago, concussion or not. I don't know what's going on over there either. They are really struggling. It's very weird. Do you guys, and you asked me the question, but where did this come about? I just heard about this a few hours ago. What did he trip and fall at home? Like, where did this concussion thing?
No, I guess it was actually after the Sunday game. They said they put him in the concussion protocol because of a hit he took or something that they noticed during the game or after the game, apparently, which makes you go, was it after the game? Was it?
This is getting weird. Yeah. No, I'm confused.
Yeah. But
it's
also,
a problem. It's definitely a problem.
Yeah.
I was going to say, it's John Wolford time in LA, baby, because I don't think Matt Stafford's going to play this week. If he's just been put in the concussion protocol, we know they're taking this a lot more serious now, and they're really careful about that. I'm assuming he's not going to play this week. So,
what happens if Wolfie has a good game?
You have to consider playing him.
Right? Because, I mean, Stafford hasn't looked like Stafford all year.
Yeah. Stafford needs to heal up that arm.
Yeah. Does Wolfie get a run? Does he get a 2 or 3 game run?
I think so. Why not? He looked good in the preseason. We've got to see what they have in him. So let's do it.
Yeah. Kyler Murray does have a hamstring. Did not practice today, so he's also on the injury report. That Cardinals-Rams game could be awful. It's just, I mean, and by the way, it could have been awful with the 2 starting quarterbacks in. Now we're going to take those guys out. It could be a really, really bad game. James Conner time. Am I right, Tony?
Let's go, T.
I hope.
You're welcome.
Oh God.
Oh boy. All right. So obviously the bigger injury news. I just like to lead with Stafford because I like to make fun of him. Josh Allen's elbow. Are we officially concerned? And how long do we think it's going to affect him if he is out? Tony, I'm going to start with you.
I'm concerned, and I'm concerned again because they're playing I like to say the Bill Belichick kind of thing, where they're just like, oh, we're taking it, day by day, hour by hour.
Yeah.
I said we're taking it day by day. I don't like that. That means they're hiding something.
Yeah.
You're not being honest. That worries me.
We're on to Minnesota. Chuckles. Let's say Josh Allen doesn't play. Do you know who the backup in Buffalo is?
Case Keenum, baby.
He is. And who do you like now if Case Keenum is the quarterback?
I'll tell you who I don't like. Gabe Davis. Because Gabe Davis is a package deal with Josh Allen. So that ain't going to work for me. I won't play Gabe Davis. You should probably keep him on your bench. I still like Diggs, not as much as I like Diggs with Josh Allen. Yeah. But Case Keenum's a very, very good backup quarterback, and he can run that offense proficiently. I mean, I have no doubts. But he is not Josh Allen, folks. And for those of you that are running out on the waiver wire, picking up Case Keenum in the hopes that you might get this stud quarterback for a 3 or 4 week time frame that maybe Josh Allen will miss, good luck with that.
Let's say you're stuck with Trevor Lawrence. Should you go out and get Case Keenum?
No, I'd play Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence has actually been pretty decent, and he does have the little bit of a cheat code. He does get some yardage on the ground, so I think he's a solid backup plan if Josh Allen can't go for you. Now for me, if Josh Allen doesn't play for 3 or 4 weeks, I'm literally screwed, Johnny, because I have him in big leagues. He's my main dude. I'm going out on the scrap heap trying to get guys like Josh. I'm trying to get Kenny Pickett and Andy Dalton and guys like that, and whatever.
Andy Dalton.
Can I take a step back for a minute? Ask you guys a question.
Sure.
Did Keenum pass back in the day? Throw to Diggs a little bit in Minnesota?
Yeah,
maybe a little bit of chemistry there.
The miracle in Minnesota when they beat the
Saints. He was the miracle
Right.
quarterback.
Right. That might amount to like an extra 10 yards and a couple catches.
Yeah. What about the running game? Do we pick up a running game in Buffalo?
I mean, sure. I mean, they have so many backs now coming out of the backfield. You got Singletary, you got James Cook. They're going to sprinkle in, their new toy Hines. I mean, I don't know what's going on in there. For some reason, they don't let Singletary get more than a certain amount of carries in that offense. I just don't get it.
I don't either. I just absolutely.
Especially when it's working. If he's running the ball well, they still don't give it to him. Like, I don't get it.
Zeke came back this week, but Mike McCarthy added, we're going to watch the reps with Zeke. We still starting Tony Pollard this week?
Yes, Johnny. I don't care if Zeke plays or not. We're starting Pollard because I don't care what the owner, Jerry Jones, says. Pollard is the better running back. And while they limit his carries, he's still going to get his 10 to 15 touches. And he just does more with that than Zeke will do if he plays on a bum knee. I mean, come on.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? It's really tough to see.
I think they should sit Zeke. I don't know why they're rushing him back.
I don't either. All right, last injury we're going to talk about. What's happened with our boy Pierce? Says chest, shoulder. He was limited in practice today, so he did practice a little bit. He was limited. Chuck, are we worried about Damian?
Nope. Dude's a baller. Have you seen him? John, have you seen him play? He won't go down.
I'm familiar.
He's aggressive. He's physical, and he never gives up. He's not going to miss a game with this minor injury. He's playing.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yep. I was going to mention Brandon Cooks, but then I just remembered I don't care.
Fearless Fantasy Forecast.
All right, let's go to our Fearless Fantasy Forecast, and we're going to go through each game, starting with the Thursday game all the way through the Monday game. We're going to talk about some people that we like or maybe don't like in these things from a fantasy standpoint only. We might even talk about the line or who we think is going to win, just whatever we decide to talk about with the game. I think this Thursday's game could be the worst Thursday game ever. And that's saying something if you've been tracking the Thursday games. So let's talk about Atlanta and Carolina. There's a whole lot to not like. Is there anything to like? Chuck, I'm going to start with you.
Well, these two teams played each other 2 weeks ago, Johnny, and it was a great game. Dante Foreman had 3 touchdowns in that game. That was the game Hubbard was out. Marcus Mariota was pretty good. Now they have Scordero back for you there, Johnny. So is there a lot to look forward to in this game? Not really, let's be honest. I think this week Deontay Foreman is going to more split carries with Chuba. I think Kyle Pitts has been, neglected all year because they just simply don't throw the ball much in Atlanta. They want to run the ball. So the only guy I really like in this game is probably Cordero Patterson. And if you have Foreman and you can play him at the flex, you got to play him. But I'm not expecting big numbers.
Have they named a quarterback in Carolina yet?
Yeah, it's still going to be the same guy.
PJ?
PJ, yeah.
Thought they benched him last week, and that might be it for Peach. I think it's a short leash, though. Am I wrong about that? Does anybody else think that? Tony, you like anybody else besides Cordero?
I kind of like Algiers. I do like the running game for Atlanta, and the only reason why, well, they've looked good the past couple of weeks. And what was it? Mixon just tore into Carolina.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to see maybe Atlanta do the same thing. But other than that, it's not sounding real exciting.
Yeah.
How about DJ Moore, Johnny? Do we expect him to, have a decent game?
Well, I mean, 3 of the 4 games, 3 of the last 4 games, he's done pretty well. He was shut out last week pretty badly. I mean, he didn't do much of anything. So I like him. I like him a little bit better if they had a better quarterback. PJ's not the answer there. I don't know what we're doing in Carolina. I feel like we're tanking for Tua without Tua being available. So yeah, I'm not sure on that one.
I gotta say, if Terrell's out again, that bodes well for DJ Moore. But if Terrell comes back this week, which he might, he's a shutdown corner. He's tough, so we'll see.
Yeah, I like the backup or the wide receiver 2 now there, Terrence
Marshall.
Terrence Marshall. I like him a lot. I actually picked him up. I have a couple of shares of him in a couple of leagues. Yep. The guy's starting to come on. He's double digits for the last 3 weeks in a row, even when Moore didn't do much last week. So just something to keep an eye on.
We mentioned him on the waiver wire, Jim, just a couple weeks ago. So
it's a great point. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Germany. Das ist gut. Or is das gut? We got Tampa taking on Seattle. Tampa's the home team in this. But if you ask Germans, Seattle's actually their team. More Germans have fanhood. I've been watching Good Morning NFL all week, and the Germans seem to love Seattle for some reason. So how do we feel about this game? Tony, I'm starting with you. Who do you like? Who do you not like in this game?
Well, starting with the teams, Tampa seems kind of pumped right now, but Seattle's been pumped since the first kickoff.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for a good game. Other than that, it's going to be the usual suspects. I can't wait to see Walker. Gino has been playing out of his mind, obviously. So I'm hoping for a good game, period. I think it's going to be, if Tampa can step it up a little bit, it's going to be pretty exciting. But I still don't love the receiving end of Tampa right now. The receivers are great, but I don't know who's going to go off and who's going to get mediocre numbers like they have been doing across the board. So I'm looking forward to Seattle's offense a little bit more.
Who do you not like in this game, Chuck? Who are you worried about in this game?
Honestly, I'm a little worried about Mike Evans. He's banged up. Brady doesn't seem to be throwing the ball down the field as much, at least accurately down the field. I like Cade Otton because he does see the middle of the field really well, Tom Brady. So I like Cade Otton. But you know what I'm really intrigued by, John? I mean, first of all, I wouldn't touch Leonard Fatbutt. I think his run is coming to an end.
For
And
sure.
I am thinking this is the week we get to see more Rashad White than we do Leonard Fatbutt. I want to see if that comes true because that's my prediction. I think this is the game Rashad White gets. He explodes. Not explodes. I think he's going to out-touch the ball over Leonard Fournette.
Nice. All right, make our picks. Who's winning this game in Germany? Chuck, you first. Seattle or Tampa?
I'm going to take Seattle. They're the
Right.
better team.
Tony, you agree?
Yeah.
All right,
Absolutely.
That makes 3 of us. I like Seattle. I also I love Geno in this game. I love Geno. I don't think Tampa's defense is what Tampa thought their defense was going to be. Geno's picking people apart. He's having a crazy ass year. We'll mention him a little bit later too. All right, let's move on to Minnesota Buffalo. This is an intriguing game. Buffalo's got a great defense. They've got a great quarterback when he plays. Is he going to play? That's the question. So
I don't think he's going to play, Johnny.
I don't think he is either. I really don't.
And if he doesn't, this is going to be a Dalvin Cook game.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Right.
You know, he's had 5 touchdowns since week 5. Dalvin Cook has.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's really starting to come
right after I traded him.
Yep.
That's the Mendoza. That's the line. Yep. Nice. Who else do we like in this game?
I mean, you gotta like Jefferson, right? JJ.
I've always liked Jefferson.
You always have to like Jefferson.
I kind of like Hawkinson a little bit. I like Hawk too.
I was gonna say that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawkinson he fits so perfectly in their scheme.
He does.
Mm-hmm. I like and we don't think he's going to. If Case Keenum starts, I like Minnesota's defense a little bit here. I like him a little bit. I like that. I think that's a sneaky defense to start this week because I don't know that they can get the running game going. They haven't committed to it yet. Case can throw, but he's rusty. He's not thrown for a while. He hasn't played for a while. So
he's also careless with the ball.
Yeah, which is why he's not a starter in the NFL. He got intercepted a lot. So, yeah, I like him. Thielen might be out this game, so this might be a sneaky game for KJ Osborne. If you've been stashing him, just know that that's a possibility. Thielen, I think, didn't practice or was limited again today. All right, let's move on to who wins this game?
It depends. If Josh Allen plays, I like the Bills, and if he doesn't, I like the Vikings.
Yep, agree.
I like the Vikings even if Josh Allen does play because I don't think Josh Allen's going to be Josh Allen. So I actually like the Vikings either way. All right, let's move on to Detroit and my beloved Chicago Bears. Chicago's offense seems to be turning around. What do we think about Fields?
I'm playing him this week
Me too.
in my Dynasty League over Herbert. And I'm not even it's not even a thought.
It's not even a thought.
No.
Right. Nice.
Who would have thought, Johnny? If I'd have told you in week 1, there'd be a point in the season where I would absolutely play Justin Fields over Herbert.
Nobody.
I mean,
not one person.
Impossible.
Yeah. Herbert was generally the 3rd or 4th quarterback off the board. Fields went undrafted in some drafts. So,
Yeah.
wow.
he should have gone undrafted in all redraft leagues.
Yeah, he didn't. Some people took a chance on him and then dropped him about week 2 because they realized how bad Chicago's offense was and now are kicking themselves because they dropped him. Beep, beep,
Yep.
beep.
Mm-hmm.
I had a feeling about him. Just my feeling came about 8 weeks later than I really wanted it to.
As most of your feelings do. I mean, you were all over the Keenan Allen injury, and here we are a year later. Let me just
John Ballgame got feelings delayed. The delayed version.
let me make a gut prediction for this week.
Okay.
Amon St. Brown's going to have a big week this week.
Mm.
Big. And not because I think the Bears defense isn't good, but it's particularly because they have a rookie slot corner who's probably going to match up with St. Brown. And this dude gets lit up by every slot receiver in the NFL every week. He is the worst slot corner in the NFL. And he's a rookie, so they're going to continue to work with him. But, I mean, Amon's going to eat him for lunch.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, Tony, we like anybody else in this game?
I'm all right with that. Yeah, I'm on thing. No, I hate to copy you guys, but yeah, I got Fields going in 2 leagues, so I'm really excited for this. Each week, a few more points, a little bit more dynamic. So he's going to be great this week.
Do they unleash DeAndre Swift this week, John?
I think it's still going to be a share. I don't. There's something not right with DeAndre. It's my opinion. I know Tony doesn't like to hear that because he made a trade this week.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. I think it's another week or something, and I think they'll go with Jamal a little bit because they're going to need to against the Bears defense, which is actually better than what people thought it was going to be. So, we like the Bears in this game. I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice. All right, let's go to Tennessee and Denver. I like Henry, of course, right? I mean, let's just be honest. You like Henry every week.
Yeah.
That guy, no matter what, is a stud. There's not much to like in Denver. There's not a ton of people I love in this game.
What, Johnny? You don't like a mediocre running back room like the Broncos have? I mean, Latavius Murray and Chase Edmonds. I mean, come on, and the fantasy rooster.
No, actually, I don't. That's the geriatric gang. I'm out on the whole Denver team. Judy, Cortland Sutton. No, thank you.
It sucks, doesn't it? I like Denver's D. They're okay, but stopping King Henry, you're going to need 2 Denver Ds to do that. So,
and that's actually where Denver's vulnerable. Is they're really good against the pass, but they're not good
against the pass. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not forget who lit them up: Dameon Pierce.
Right.
That's exactly right.
What do you think Derrick Henry's going to do? I mean, come on.
Double.
Yeah, I got a share of Derek. I like that idea.
By the way, Johnny, last week I told everyone on the show that Derrick Henry was going to get 200 yards against the Texans.
You did?
I did, and he did.
So last week they didn't play the Texans. They'd played them the week before. So if you told us last week,
2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago,
it was a real bold prediction, Chuck. week after he did it.
2 weeks ago.
That's right. You did call for a big game there, and I think you did actually say 200 on the show.
I did.
We play that later. Yeah. Congratulations. How many does he get against Denver? Give me an over under.
150. He's gonna have a big game.
Got a $1.05. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tennessee win this game.
He's in a groove, Johnny.
Yeah. We like Tennessee Tennessee.
I do.
Yep. Tony, you too?
Yeah.
Is there anybody else you like? Cortland Suckland?
No.
Okay. Nobody in Denver. Let's go to Kansas City, Jacksonville.
Hold up. I got Greg Dolchik. Greg Dolchik is quietly having a monster rookie season at tight end in the games he's played. He's really fast and physical, and he's got great hands. Reminds me a little bit of Gronk.
Yeah.
Baby Gronk.
The issue is I think the Titans defense is better than people thought they were going to be, and that linebacker core is stellar. So
but they're not great against the pass. So we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, we still like Tennessee. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this next game. It's Jacksonville versus Kansas City. I think we all think Kansas City's probably going to win this game. Who's running the ball for Kansas City? That's my question.
Man.
All 3 of them, Johnny.
Yeah.
Which means
none of them are good.
Right? Well, we picked none.
McKinnon caught 6 for 40, which wasn't too bad, but that's not.
Yeah, but Mahomes threw the ball 68 times.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, that's the shame of it. Mahomes was their leading rusher, and Mahomes doesn't even run that much. So
this game's going to be a blowout too. So they'll shut it down early.
I think so too. Let me tell you a little sleeper I've really liked the last couple of weeks. McCole Hardman has turned into an NFL receiver. Everybody.
Yeah, he's
I
not a
don't know
sleeper.
if any of you knew that. Yeah, I mean that guy's it's great. He's actually been really good for.
Do one for Rice, dude. Do one for Rice.
Nicola.
That's a good one.
Thanks. I'm in good tune today. That was nice. Jacksonville, other than ATM, do we like anybody there?
No, but I do like ETN a lot in this game.
I like ETN a lot. Yeah. He is money, which is why we call him ATM.
Yeah, it is.
And it rhymes with ETN. So we all picked Jacksonville to win this in Kansas City, right? Is that what I?
Yeah, and can I tell you a little story? When I was watching ETN at Clemson, was it Clemson? Yeah, it was Clemson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first time, his rookie season, they kept saying, I didn't know who he was, and they kept saying what I thought was ATM. Yeah. ATM up the middle for 20 yards, ATM this and that. So I thought his name was something like ATM, and that's where the nickname came from, actually, embarrassingly enough. Not ETN.
Yeah. Well, turns out he is an ATM. All right, let's go to Cleveland and Miami. Is this game closer than we think it is, or is this a blowout? It's in
No,
Miami.
this is gonna be a shootout.
Think
This
so?
is gonna be yeah. As a matter of fact, if you're playing a DFS, I like Jacoby Brissett. I like Amari Cooper. I like Donovan Peoples-Jones. I like David Njoku.
What is happening right now?
Because
Cleveland Browns.
Miami is 32nd in the league, the worst pass defense in the league.
Yep.
And you know Tua's going to get his, Tyreek's going to get his, and Waddle's going to get his. So it's going to be a shootout.
That's fun. I like
this. This is my favorite game of the week.
Wow. Who wins?
I think Miami wins because it is in Miami.
Yeah.
But
because Cleveland is Cleveland?
Yeah, but Cleveland's good, man. They've lost some close games. They could have a lot better of a record. But I love this game this week. I love it.
Yeah, Miami will win by 3 again, but it'll feel like they won by 14.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to New York and Houston and the game that I call the Who Cares Bowl. All right, Tony, who do you like in this game?
I still like Barkley, man. I mean, and he's going to go off. I think this is going to be a good week for him. It's been a couple weeks since he's thrown up really large numbers, so that's who I'm rooting for right now is old Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
I'm going 200. He's not 200 rushing, but 200 total yards for Barkley and at least one touchdown.
God, I hope.
Big day.
I hope.
That's a bold statement there, Chuck.
Houston is brutal against running backs.
Yeah, they are not good. If Dameon Pierce does play, and we believe he will because he did at least get a limited practice today, how does he do against the New York defense?
He'll do fine. He's going to get his 20 to 25 touches, so he'll do fine.
I see him at like $130. I feel like $130 and a tutty at least.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that too. And I think they're going to try to get him involved in the passing game a little bit more. That guy's got good hands. They're not using him in the right way in that case. But I feel like this might be the week they have to do that.
Okay.
I think we all feel New York's probably going to beat Houston in New York, even though they are the Giants. They are better than they normally were. Does Daniel Jones get going this week?
Nah. I think they'll lean on Barkley a little more, but I like Wandale to get a little bit more, put into the offense. I think he's going to get more touches this week.
Yeah, he's kind of shown flashes. We need some consistency out of that guy, though, right? Like, so a couple of games, you're like, ooh, I like what I see, and then he disappears for a game. So, All right, let's see what we got. Pittsburgh and New Orleans. I think this is a more interesting game than when you first look at it, right? Like the Saints coming off of a pretty weird loss to Jacksonville. Pittsburgh coming off a bye week after getting blown out. Who do we like in this game? Chuck, I'm going to start with you.
I'll tell you what I'm looking for because it's coming off of a bye week for Pittsburgh. So several things in play here. Also, they traded away Chase Claypool. So I think Freiermuth gets the targets that were going to Chase Claypool. So I'm really looking for him to have a big game. Also, Najee Harris has been absolutely terrible. He's probably the worst ranked by most websites running back in football. Okay, yeah. So I think they're going to take a look at Jaylen Warren and get him a lot more touches this week. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Are we starting to see that Najee maybe was a little more injured than what we thought in the beginning of the year, right? Like now I think we can all admit Najee is not Najee that we saw last year. No. I mean, he's never going to be that breakaway 90-yard guy, but we're not even seeing the power that he had last year. We're not seeing anything out of the backfield. There's no nimbleness to him. He's a plodding, really easy to tackle running back right now.
Yeah.
Tony, who do we like on the Saints?
Who do we like on the Saints? Oh, God. Who's throwing the ball? I do like Kamara this week. You got to like Kamara against the Steelers defense right now. He's going to have a big week.
We like Olave?
You got to. You got to love the young kid.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
You know who I like? Juwan Johnson. I like that. I like that kid. You know, I've always liked him. I like the jump ball as long as their actual starting tight end isn't playing again, which I don't think he is.
Also a year late on that prediction there, Johnny.
I am.
Yeah.
It goes to show you how good I was last year. Just not in the right year.
You hit on half the stuff, and the stuff you didn't hit on is happening this year.
That is weird, right?
Still 100%.
Yeah, I'm 100 and just in a split 50-50. All right. I also like Kamara. I also like Olave. I like Juwan a lot. I don't care who the quarterback is. I actually like all three of those guys, whether Jameis plays or whether.
I mean, why are they going to play Jameis?
They're not. It's going to be Dalton, but
yeah. Jarvis starting to look like he might come back. Are we liking Jarvis at all? No, we got a yawn. We got a yawn from Chuck, so that's a no, sir. Any Pittsburgh receiver besides Freiermuth that we like?
Pickens. It's time to unleash Pickens.
You got to get him the ball, though, man.
Yes.
He got zero last game.
This is why they shipped off, Mr. Claypool. Get him out of here. It's time. It's time. We're going. It's a Pickett to Pickens is going to be a thing.
Yeah. By the way, I did forget to mention in that Chicago game, Cole Kmet the last 2 weeks, while Fields is starting to come on, so's Kmet. So, they're a running game. They use a tight end with a running team. Might want to start looking at Kmet. Much like that, we want to start looking at the tight end for Pittsburgh. So with Freiermuth again. All right, let's go to another game that I could care less about, but we got to talk about because we're a football station, and that is Indianapolis and Las Vegas. Two incredibly underwhelming, underperforming teams that are at a crossroads in their organizations. So, who do you like in this game? Is there any Colt that you like? Just name a Colt. Any Colt that you like.
I think Taylor's going to have a good week this week. He looks healthy. Sorry to interrupt.
He
looks pretty healthy in practice right now. He looks like, and they sound confident in him. So
nice.
I think like you were saying earlier in the show that they're going to ground and pound right now. So I like Taylor.
Okay. I like JT a little bit myself, especially when you got an offensive lineman, new head coach who doesn't know anything about being a head coach. He's going to lean on the run. I like him too. All right. Any Raiders that you like? Chuckles?
Oh, I love Derek Carr this week. No, I'm just kidding. I'll tell you a funny story though.
I'm not gonna lie, you got me for a second. I was like,
I don't know if you know this, but Jeff Saturday was, being an analyst like he was 2 weeks ago. He tweeted how bad the Raiders were just a few weeks ago, and now you know damn well that his first game that the Raiders are going to use that as bulletin board material. Yep.
I think the Raiders are going to win this game huge. I think they're going to come out. They're going to be pissed off from last week and the week before that. I think Devontae is going to go over $150. I think he's going to have 2 touchdowns. I like Josh Jacobson. Josh Jacobs. Thank you. I know that was right. I like Josh Jacobs a lot this week because Indianapolis can't do anything on defense. I like your Raiders. Put your Raiders in, except for Carr apparently because Chuck giggled when he said.
The thing is, the Colts are so bad offensively that their defense is always on the field. So everyone's going to get some love on the offense for the Raiders, even Derek Carr. Yeah,
even Derek Carr. Nice. Mm-hmm. All right. And I think we all think the Raiders will win that in Vegas to ruin Jeff Saturday's debut.
Unless Jonathan Taylor's healthy and they unleash him. Unless. Because he is capable of breaking out for 100, 150 yards and slowing that game down.
Mm-hmm. And Sam Erlinger will probably get you at least 89 yards passing. So
he'll throw the ball at least 5 times.
That's right. All of them check downs to Taylor, which you like if you're a Taylor fan. So yeah. All right, let's go to Green Bay, Dallas. I like this game. I think this is going to be a fun game. Mike McCarthy coming back to Green Bay. He's got a street named after him now. I was just there last week, first time. McCarthy's got a street named after him right there near the stadium. What do we like in this game? First of all, do we think Green Bay gets off the schneid and wins a game, or do you think they lose to Dallas?
They'll lose. They have to lose.
I
do like PP this week. I just traded him off, but PP Lamb, I think this is his week, baby. We're going to see a big game from him.
Okay. All right. We like PP. I think Michael Gallup is a sneaky guy this week. I don't know why I got a feeling about Michael Gallup, but I do. He's starting to come on a little bit slowly every week. He just got a bye week to rest a little bit more. I like me some Gallup this week. I think they're going to double down on PP, and so I like him a little bit more. But here's what I'm thinking.
Romeo Doubs is out. It's probable that, Dylan's going to be the starting running back. They already have trouble throwing the ball. I
Is
mean,
Aaron Jones out this week?
Aaron Jones is most likely out. He had an ankle injury. They say he's okay, but now they're talking about he might not play. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, I'd heard that they thought he was going to be okay, so that's fine.
Yeah. Nevertheless, their defense is really good, John.
They're for real.
And they are. I think this is going to be an ugly game, and I think Dallas will win pretty easily.
Nice. I think it's going to be closer than that because I do think Aaron Rodgers has a lot of pride and is going to want to beat his old coach. And so I think there's a little bit of motivation that we haven't seen from him this year. I think this game's closer than we think it is. I do think Dallas wins. I think Pollard goes off. I like Gallup as a backup. I like the tight end in Dallas even. For some reason, I don't feel CD. I hope I'm wrong about that. For those of you CD owners out there. I don't think Dak has a huge game, though. I think he has an okay game.
Green Bay's defense is tough against the pass.
Yeah.
But when are you going to learn, Johnny? Aaron Rodgers is a poser. You keep like hyping this guy up like he's going to.
Wait, I never hype him up. I hate
You've been saying it all year. I never doubt Aaron Rodgers. I never doubt Aaron Rodgers.
Because every time I start to doubt him, he usually proves me wrong. He's the Tom Brady of Green Bay.
Proving you wrong.
Aaron Rodgers is toast. I had my fantasy
Lazard. Lazard's
I like Lazard.
Lazard's in a touchdown this week.
You like some Lazard? You like Lizard? Okay.
I like Christian Watson.
I like Bobby Tonyan.
To get hurt. Let me finish, Johnny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin the punch. Actually, I might have made it funnier. I like me some Bobby Tonyan this week, though. He's their leading receiver right now. So, but I do like Alan Lazard. It's a great little sneaky pickup there. But I think we all think Dallas wins this in a landslide. Zona and Los Angeles. We already kind of talked about this game.
Yeah.
Are we excited about anybody? Cooper Kupp, maybe, no matter who the quarterback is, right?
I mean, props to DeAndre Hopkins. I mean,
Hopkins for sure. Yeah.
He's a machine.
Yeah.
He is.
Who's throwing to him if Easy's up?
MC Ren? I don't know.
Is he rolling with Lorenzo and a Benzo? I have no idea. All right. Who wins that game? Los Angeles. It's in Los Angeles.
I'm going to go Rams just because they usually beat Arizona.
And Arizona's been terrible this year. They've been terrible.
They're pretty much their backs are against the wall. They have to win this game.
Does the head coach make it out of this year in Arizona?
Yeah, because they just signed him to a 5-year extension, so it would cost him a lot of money to get rid of Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
All right. Sunday night game is Frisco and Chargers. I actually like this game a lot. I like this game.
It'll be a fun one.
Yeah, this could be a fun game. Frisco's defense is awfully good. Los Angeles doesn't have a ton of receivers, and yet these are the kind of games that Herbert wins. He doesn't play well in games he's supposed to play well in, but then you get him in these games where it's like a tough matchup, and then he kind of ends up doing well. So I like Herbert more this week than I did last week. And he was okay last week, right? Herbie did okay for you.
No, he was okay. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Okay. He wasn't great. I like him better this week. Do we like San Francisco to win this game?
I think it's going to be a tough game, like you said, but I think Christian McCaffrey is going to go ballistic.
I think San Francisco will win. Yeah.
I think they figure out how to use Debo and Christian McCaffrey on the offense, and I think Frisco is going to kill the Chargers. The Chargers defense isn't very good. Frisco has so many weapons right now. I actually picked up Jimmy Garoppolo, and I'm starting him in a league because I got a bye week with Burrow, and I'm excited about it. Like, I think Garoppolo could actually have a go-off week if he uses Christian and he uses Debo in the way
The only problem is, John, that the Chargers are the worst team against the run, period, in the NFL, and they could really lean on the run and just blow them out. I hope that doesn't happen.
The one thing about Garoppolo is he is so accurate.
Yes.
So accurate. So
it's a good thing he's so handsome, too.
And handsome. He's handsomely accurate, if you really think about it.
Handsomely accurate.
Nice.
And he likes Subway, by the way.
Yeah, I heard he enjoys a good sandwich.
He eats fresh.
Our Monday night matchup is Philly and Washington, and what I think will be a better game than what people think. Philly probably wins this game though, right? It's in Philly. It's on a Monday night. We like Hurts a lot this week. I like Hurts a lot this week. Yeah.
Always.
My bold
First half,
prediction.
I like Hurts in the first half.
Oh,
And in
because
the
he's playing the second half?
They never do anything in the second half. They like shut it down and just run the ball in the second half.
Yeah. I actually think Hurts is going to be the number one fantasy quarterback at the end of this game. Yeah. For the week. By the
For
end
the
of
week.
Yeah, for the week. I like all your Philadelphia players. I like Miles Sanders a lot this week. I like Devontae. I like AJ a lot. The Washington has nothing on defense. They're just nothing and nobody. But do we like any Washington offensive players?
I like Antonio Gibson this week because they're going to be playing from behind and they're going to be dumping the ball off to the third down back, and that's Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, I like that. Do we like Heineke?
He could have a go off week.
Could be okay.
Philly's defense is a little tougher than what, because they're always talking about their offense. Their defense is not bad at all.
Yeah,
And they picked up they picked up? Oh, Robert Quinn from the Bears. So I got another pass rusher, which is what they thought they needed. So
hey, if Jared Goff and a comeback effort can go over 300 yards against Philly,
yeah,
Heineke can too.
Yeah, we'll see. Don't forget your bye weeks are Cincinnati, New England, the Jets, and the Baltimore Ravens. Those are some pretty big ones to have off. There's a bunch of fantasy players taking a snooze this week.
Mid-season superlatives.
All right, boy. Let's just finish up the show with our mid-year superlatives. And our first off is your biggest award, your award for the biggest surprise so far of the fantasy season. Chuck, I'm going to start with you.
Biggest surprise. I mean, I think we're all going to go here with this one. It's got to be Geno Smith.
Absolutely.
Geno Smith is currently the quarterback 4. And if you want to, throw out the bye and all that, if you want to go by per game, he's quarterback 6. Geno Smith, Johnny, is quarterback 6 in fantasy football.
I don't know what to say. All of you who predicted the Geno Smith story of 6, raise your hand. There'll be 0. None of you did. Nope. Yeah, none of you did. Poop, you got anybody different?
Yeah. Mine is Miles Sanders. I did not. I grabbed him because I was forced to grab him in several leagues. So like maybe a flex, maybe a backup. He's not having go off numbers, but he's got 6 or 7 touchdowns compared to the past 2 seasons.
That's the biggest fantasy surprise of all. He scored a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a touchdown.
Exactly.
Hilarious.
It was a surprise.
I got a name out there because I make fun of him a lot. Tyler Lockett is the 8th fantasy wide receiver right now.
Hot Lockett.
Yeah. Pretty consistent. Had one go-off game like we talked about. He had a 35-point game. But for the rest of it, double digits almost every one.
That's because of Geno Smith.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's hitting his people.
Dude, the ball lands right in the breadbasket every time. I mean,
yeah.
Even he drops one, and then he comes back and gets another one and gets a touchdown in the last week. I mean, Geno's throwing the ball like perfectly.
Yeah. All right, rookie of the year. I think it's a race between 2, but you might be a third one who's snuck in there now that he's starting. Who do you got? Tony, I'm going to start with you. Who's your rookie of the year?
Kenny Walker.
Kenny Walker? Okay.
Yeah. And he needs a little more time now. I mean, Dameon Pierce is actually winning it, so I don't mean to take that out of anybody's mouth. But I think Kenny Walker is going to finish for rookie of the year.
That's what I was talking about, snuck into it. Like, if you'd asked me this 3 weeks ago, Pierce was hands down for me, the rookie of the year.
Brees was actually, but.
Yeah, well, yeah. Can we just take a moment of silence for Brees Hall because he would totally be in this conversation and probably win?
Yeah.
And, Chuck, you got anybody else?
I was going to say Dameon Pierce just because he's been there from week 1 and he's doing it every week. Although Kenny Walker, by the end of the season, like Tony says, could be the guy.
Yeah, I think Olave gets some conversation too because he is a rookie, and I think we all forget. That guy's having a great year as a wide receiver. He's having a great year. So
don't forget the defender, Sauce
Gardner. Yeah, well, he'll be. I think he'll be hands down defensive rookie of the year.
Badass.
Yeah, he sure is. All right, let's go for the MVP on your team, not necessarily of the season, but on one or more of your teams that you personally have. Who's your MVP? Chuck, I'm start with you.
Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is on pace, Johnny, to go over 2,000 yards receiving. We're talking Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss territory.
That's freaking nuts.
It's insane. Every week he's dropping 150, 160, 170, 180. It's incredible. And I got him at the 2-3 turn in our big money draft.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I knew he was going to be a top 10 receiver.
Right.
I had no doubt. But to be the wide receiver 1 in fantasy football, bravo.
On a team where he's sharing with another top 10 receiver, Waddle. I mean, that's the nuts of this. It's
Waddle's 4.
Yeah, it's not like he's the only guy in town. Waddle's the 4th receiver. Tua's having a year, man. All right. Tony, who's your MVP of your team?
I'm going Mahomes. I didn't expect Mahomes to actually be this good.
Okay.
He was losing Tyreek Hill, but he's doing more, like the running. He's kind of stepping up. He's going back to being that true offensive leader like he was a couple years ago.
Yep.
I'm
going to go with Joey B. Joe Burrow, number 1 quarterback right now in our league. Balling. He's absolutely balling for my team. He's saving me basically most weeks. I will say a guy that's sneaking into this conversation for me, though, is Travis Etienne. He's really starting to come on now.
Yeah.
I love having him. All right, overall fantasy MVP. Who do we think it's going to be? Make your call now. Who's going to be the MVP for the season? Chuck.
Derrick Henry. He's just coming on. He's doing his thing. The Titans keep winning, although they lost a tough matchup last week to the Chiefs, but they're still 5-3 with a rookie quarterback who doesn't even like to throw the ball. Somehow they're piecing it together. They have a terrible defense against the pass, but Derrick Henry just carries them week in and week out.
Nice. I love it. Tony, who's yours?
Well, Henry's my number 1. He is. So I'm going to go number 2. Man, I got 3 people. I'm going to go Hurts. I think there's a personal thing there that I hate to admit it. I like Hurts a lot, but I'm just like, I'm going to go. I'm going to say he's going to be number 2 because I agree. Henry hands down to me also, but I'm going to go Hurts. I think Hurts is pretty damn close.
I'm going to go with my original call. Beginning of the year, I said number 1 quarterback was going to be Joe Burrow.
Yes, you did.
Joe Burrow is right now the number 1 quarterback in fantasy leagues. Now, not per game because he hasn't had a bye, but he's right there. Even per game, he's like number 3 or something like that. And he hasn't had Chase. Offensive, all the pieces start to come together towards the end of the season, and I think Joe Burrow is going to go bonkers and go bananas, and will be by far the number 1 fantasy quarterback. And we all know that fantasy quarterbacks win the whole thing. So I'm doubling down on my Joe Burrow call. Joe Burrow.
Boy, Johnny.
If Josh Allen is healthy, none of us are saying he's number 1 for MVP.
Well, I mean, that's the problem. I literally have him on my list, but he's not. Yeah.
Roll with Royce, the degenerate gambler.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us, a rare appearance. It's like seeing Sasquatch, quite frankly. The Fantasy Rolls Royce making an appearance tonight to give us his picks. Royce, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, guys. Nice to see everyone.
Hey.
Poop, nice to see you. Power. Yes.
What's up?
How are you, brother?
Good.
What's up, Reaper?
What's up, Mr. Royce? The Fantasy Rolls Royce.
Hey, Mark Andrews called. He says hi. He'll be back in a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's taking the week off. He's in a vacation in one of those huts behind you, though. So you might be able to see that.
I'm gonna let the Friar Muth Luth this week. He's gonna go nuts.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
All
right, Royce, you got some picks for us, brother?
I do, and they're all in honor Ballgame of your first show. So yeah, I know. Exciting, huh?
I'm excited.
You're like, how is that going to work? Well, let me tell you. Okay, so I got 3 picks. We'll start with the Texans at the Giants, and Giants are -6.5. Ball game. When you hear Houston Texans, who do you think of?
Brandon Cooks, obviously. I'm just kidding. And Pierce.
Of course.
More Pierce. Yeah.
That's your boy. I got a couple stakes in him too. The Giants are coming off a bye, and the Texans played last Thursday against an Eagles defense that was ranked in the top 5. And how did Pierce do? Ball game.
Had himself a nice little game. We like Justin Pierce.
And
yeah.
I do expect the same from him. But I don't think Houston's going to win. But I do like them to cover.
Ooh.
So Giants 24, Texans 20. Next up, Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs are giving 9.5 points. And who do you like on the Jaguars? Ball game?
Little fella named Travis ATM.
Well, you know what? He's gonna.
Yeah.
And there, some fella by Henry last week ran pretty good against the Chiefs, if I remember.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it's going to happen again. The Chiefs had to go to overtime against a team with a backup quarterback and didn't have a first down in the second half. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. So I obviously don't like the Jaguars to win, but I do like them to keep it close. So I say 28 Chiefs to 23 Jaguars. Okay.
Okay.
Next one, the Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
-3 against the Detroit Lions. Ball game. I don't like this line. I love it. Let's go Bears. -3. The Lions are coming off a win against the Packers. Was that considered an upset? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Packers are terrible.
Yeah.
And ball game, your Bears, I think, should have won that game against the Dolphins. They played well. I think Fields is still running right now. He's going to do the same thing against the Lions because they do have a small defensive problem. I do like it close, but I do like the Bears to cover. They're -3. I like them to win by a touchdown and a field goal, 35-30, and take the over in that game too. So there you go, buddy.
Nice. I like all those. The degenerate gambler giving us what he's got. Chuck, what do you think about Royce's picks today?
I like them all except the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to blow out the Jags.
I think the Chiefs are going to blow them out.
Yeah.
Well, that could happen too.
Yeah. Chiefs every now and then they'll lay a stinker when you don't expect them to. So
That's true.
All the teams do, man.
Yeah.
And then the Jag. Well, it was against the Raiders last week. They were down 17. They came back and won. I guess that's not saying much, but
yeah.
Just after the game last week with the backup quarterback and Henry running wild, maybe they'll keep it close. Might be fun. I don't know. We'll see. That's a lot of points though. A lot of points.
I like it. Poop, anything you liked in there?
I like seeing Royce.
Oh,
That's what I like.
that's nice. All right.
I missed you too, you shirt tucker. Little litter.
He's a tucker. All right, boys. Any last thoughts? Let's go around the horn. Chuck, anything you want to close out with?
John, I appreciate you taking the reins, brother, so I can just kick back on my island and just let you do all the work. Appreciate
Have a nice little vacation. It's my pleasure.
I did.
All good. Poop, you got any final thoughts?
I farted like 4 times during the show, and you guys didn't hear it.
No,
Well,
but this is smell-o-vision, so we all knew.
Oh,
We knew.
okay. Sorry, then.
Royce, anything from you, brother?
I'll see you in week 18 for my picks.
Just around the corner. All right, boys. For the Reaper, for Sir Poops a lot, and for the Fantasy Rolls Royce, we're going to sign off. I'm Johnny Ballgame. Have a great week. Good luck. Get your lineups in. Don't forget about that wonderful Prime game tomorrow. Peace.
Aloha, bitches.